When was the last time you actually checked the expiration date on your skincare products? Did you know that your skincare products can expire? Do you know where to find that label? Do you know the symbol? Do you know how to read it? I am style expert Christine Beauvais, and today I am going to dive into helping you refresh your skincare and makeup for fall, helping you get organized, providing you tips that are going to help you save you thousands of dollars, time, and stress. Because here's the thing, your makeup drawers are impacting you on an everyday basis because every day you're putting on your makeup and your skincare products, and every day you are really putting these products on, and if you don't realize that they might be expired or that they may no longer be good for your skin, you might be really causing yourself a lot of issues. Now, I'm not a dermatologist, but I do listen to a lot of them. And there's one thing I've heard them say, and that is a lot of times products don't always have a reaction immediately. It could just be over time of using them that you could have a reaction to a product. So let's dive in deep to getting our makeup and skincare organized. And I'm going to go into some details about why it's so important that each season you really do pay attention to what you are putting on your skin. Because each season, sometimes, depending on your skin type, you need more products. Sometimes you need heavier products. And sometimes you're hearing all this information from all these people telling you to buy this, buy that, and you don't realize that you don't need all those steps. So the first important thing that you must remember, and I'm going to take a quick look because I had my skincare bottle right here, was this. Okay, this is a sunscreen that I use, but on the back of it, if you can see right down here, there is a little jar, and that open lid, what does that mean? What that means is once the product has been opened, now you see that it, it's blurring out. Sorry guys, I don't know. There's gonna be a number. So there's 12 and the letter M. So basically what does that mean is that once the product has been opened, 12 months is the time frame that you must use this product. Now this is just a moisturizing sunscreen product that I use. So, especially your sunscreens, they're really probably not going to last till next season, but we really know that the best skincare product is your sunscreen products. So you want to make sure that you are still using them throughout the fall season. Even when you're driving in your car, especially when you're driving in your car, because sometimes the sun hits you and this whole side of your face is getting tanned. That glass doesn't protect it. It would be a nice feature if they did, but it doesn't protect it. So you always want to make sure your hands and your face always have sunscreen on them. But you always want to make sure you're reading that little label. So you'll see it either say 3M, which means 3 months, 6M, which means 6 months. So pretty much majority of most products do have that. Now when a product hasn't been opened, that's fine. But some products will have, and I'll show you on here, they do have another expiration date, and sometimes it's printed in here, like on this part of it. And so that's just because that's the way that manufacturer put their expiration date. So what happens is, basically, if I hadn't opened that, in this one says 1 of 2026. So even if I didn't open this, that means that if this was February 2026, I really shouldn't be using this product. Most things are not going to just drop the day that it expires. What happens is that the potency isn't the same. But when you've opened up a product, once it's exposed to air, once it's been open to the air, or if you even put your fingers in there, you kind of start to dilute some of that product, not all of it. And it all depends on what you're using. So every product has different ingredients, different quality in there. So that's why it's so important that you're checking the dates. And you really want to know that because you don't want to start a product that you know you might not be consistent with. So what do I mean? Is that maybe you're like, oh, maybe I'll just try this product, but I won't really be using it for another 3 months. Don't open it. Don't open it until you actually start to use it on a consistent basis. And products don't last, will not show their consistency of results for usually 30 to 90 days. Most products. And it depends on the product and how you're using it. I'm not here to be a dermatologist. I'm just here to give you mindset of stop wasting your money if you're not going to use that particular cream right away, because you're going to end up throwing out products over and over, and that's going to cost you. The other thing you want to keep in mind is if you're traveling and you want to take products with you, I always say don't take the full jar with you. Because why? Well, if your luggage gets lost, that's going to be disappointing. The more you carry, the heavier it is, and a lot of people like to have a lot of products with them. So whenever you get any type of little jar that is a sample or that's maybe a little trial size, I always keep them and I always wash them. And then I keep those and I always take my creams and put them in there when I'm going to travel. This way, I'm not taking all of my products with me. I recently did a podcast with, oh my gosh, I forgot her name, but an amazing expert, which I don't remember her name, Diana Richardson, and she is an esthetician, and she works with a lot of clients in the UK and Europe who do a lot of traveling, and she informed me that when people are traveling, you need to pay attention to your climate changes. So really be aware of that if you're going to start to open some products and maybe you traveled with them and you were going to hot climate, but then you're coming back to a cold climate, it might be better just to get the travel size because you might not use that when you come home. And vice versa, if you're going from a cold climate to a hot climate, you might not need those heavy products, so you want to use the lighter products with you. So when you're traveling, it's really best to have the smaller travel size ones and to really make sure that you put stickers or labels on them, because I've done this before. I've used those and I go, oh, what did I put in here? And I can't remember what I put in there. So when you're traveling, keep those little travel size little bottles or jars, easy ones. I just sometimes put them in boiling hot water, clean them out, and then I will refill them up. And this way, you're not having a lot to go out and buy travel size bottles because you've already got them, but you're keeping your products together and you're aware of what needs to be used and what needs to be not used. So pay attention to the season you're in and how much traveling you're going to do that season, and get to know the products that you need. And that's more of the skincare products. In the makeup products, the only thing I would really say about makeup traveling wise would be your foundation, because foundations in hot climates, you probably are going to have to go, like if it's a really humid climate, you might really need a good waterproof foundation, because it's not going to last you if it is a hot place. So you want to pay attention to the products that you need based on where you're traveling. So if you're looking at the fall season, where are you traveling and what products do you need? Do you need the full size or do you need the travel size? So once you've established if it's expired, how long you have it, as I said, if it's not opened, that's fine. But once you do open it, that's when it's going to have that expiration date on it. Keep in mind that products often change their formulas. So sometimes it's really good to know that if you had a product that you feel was breaking you out, that you have a picture and a note on your calendar of when you started that product. Why? Because if you go to a doctor and they're asking you about products, you do want to know what product you used, and you want to know that if you had that product for maybe over a year, but now you're just opening it, that formula could have had an issue with you, or they could have changed ingredients with it. And that helps in the process when you are trying to figure out if you are sensitive to one product. So things to keep in mind. Number 2, your brushes. The thing I talk about with so many of my clients is cleaning those brushes and having a weekly basis. Now, everybody has some gadget or something. I basically use a bar of soap, and I usually kind of do it on a Sunday after I've done my makeup. And I will quickly start to clean the brushes, and I will just take the bar of soap, I'll get it wet, I'll get the brush wet, and I'll start cleaning it like this. You want to make sure that bar is clean, and you want to make sure that once you don't see any more makeup coming off of it, then you have a clean brush. Lie them on the side, get a towel out, put them flat, kind of on the edge of your table, and let them kind of just hang over with the towel underneath, and then dry. And then just give them a little good kind of brush back and forth, because some of them will dry faster than others, depending on the hair type, if they're synthetic or not synthetic. But you do that on a Sunday morning after you put on your makeup, or if you're not putting on your makeup for that day, and then you get into a routine and a habit. So it's really good, especially like your foundation brushes. The brushes that are more wet are the ones that can tend to get more bacteria. The dry ones can go a little bit longer, but as long as you're not sharing them with people, you really just can get away with cleaning them on a weekly basis. Don't forget that makeup sponge if you're using it. If you use any of a powder, you want to clean that brush, that powdery little pad, which I can't remember the name right now, but you want to clean that one too every so often, and make sure you put it back nice and dry, because you don't want to put it back and get that powder compact wet at all. So you've cleaned your brushes, you've checked your expiration dates. Now what do you want to do? Oh, look at that, I got balloons. Now you want to, I'm excited about my balloons. Now you want to look at your makeup bags, and you want to go through your makeup bags, and you want to make sure that you're cleaning them out too, because they tend to get dirty. I know they are the pain in the butt to clean, but you want to make sure that you give them a good wipe, a good clean, because even the one that you keep in your bag, the one that you keep in your office, you want to make sure that you can keep them clean so they're not building up any bacteria and dirt and all that. So definitely sit down and kind of have a little routine that it's either once a week, once a month, that you do the deep wash bags of your cosmetic bags. Sometimes the clear plastic ones are much nicer, because you could just go in and just wipe them down, turn them inside out, give them a good clean. Sometimes there's a couple of fabric bags. I shouldn't probably suggest this because I'm afraid that it might shrink, but you could put it in the wash in one of those wash bags, take it out, just don't put it in the dryer, and make sure that it's all clean too. So now that you've done all of that, what's next? Your makeup, foundation, concealer. Those are things that can be a little annoying, because a lot of times manufacturers torture us by they don't let us see how much is in there. So you do want to make sure that when you are using those products, that you can somehow make a level adjustment of checking in on those. So if you didn't use it all summer long, and next week you're going back to work, you want to make sure that you have plenty of foundation in there. So if you don't have a full bottle in there, and you need to get that foundation in 2 or 3 days, you need to make sure that you've checked it and gone through it. But here's a big tip when it comes to your makeup. I want you to take out your camera. I want you to take out your foundation bottle, and I want you to turn that bottle upside down. It's not a good example, and I want you to take the picture of the foundation name here. Why? Because most of the time, most brands will put the name and the color down here. Most people take the picture here and don't realize it's no name. No name of the color. So then you're walking in and you're saying, hey, I need to replenish my makeup. And now you just have the name, but you can't remember the color. So here's a couple of things. Make an album on your phone with all your photos. Call it your makeup, fall makeup, summer makeup. And take a picture so that anytime you have to go back to the store or you couldn't remember it, it's in your phone. The color is there and the formula is there. So again, they mostly put the color here. They'll put the formula here. This is why I say take the picture in the front and take the picture here and keep it in an album on your phone. So that way you're not going through all of your pictures. You just go to your makeup and I've got concealer, beige, N2. I have foundation, warm beige 4. I have blush in, peaches. I have all of that is on your phone in an album. You're going to save yourself a lot of stress when you go to the store. And here's another tip too. When you go to a store and if you brought your foundation and you're trying to find a concealer to go against it, get the foundation that you're wearing, put it on your arm, and then compare it to the other concealers. Why? Because it's going to be easier to see how they work together. So you don't have to stress if you forgot the bottle at home and you have it in the store, because I've seen people come in with all those products. So we've done the brushes, we've done the expiration, and feel free to ask any questions in the comments, because I'd love to hear what challenges you have. We've done your brushes, we've done the skincare, we've done the makeup. How long does your makeup last? That too will have little jars on them, but here's the most important thing I can stress, and that is this. The eyes are so important. So mascaras really tap out at 3 months. And that's probably the product that's going to go the fastest on you than mostly all your other products. So you always want to make sure that your mascara is fresh and clean. And stores like Sephora and Ulta, I don't know if Ulta's continuing to do it, are now taking back products to recycle your makeup. So apparently they like the mascara wands, so you can wash it, clean it. Bring those into Sephora with some other products and you can recycle them. Apparently, I believe, if I'm correct, they use them for animals, the animals. I don't know what, but that's what I'm going to tell you. So you can recycle some of these old supplies, like the mascara, like the jars, like this. They just say, please clean this out. And then there's a bin inside of Sephora that you can go and you can drop all those products in there. So if you're into the recycling, you can definitely bring those to Sephora. I don't know if Ulta's still doing it. They were doing it, my local one, but now it seems like they're not doing it. So mascara, I would tell you, is the one product that you should, once you're opening it, finish out and use it, because that is a product that expires the most and it's closest to your eyes. The next product I would say to pay attention to is anything that is a liquid or a cream, anything that's a skincare serum. So a foundation, like some of these foundations have skincare products in them. Those again are ones you want to pay attention to. Foundation can last you a long time. It will probably last you a good 3 to 6 months, maybe even a longer, depending on how much you use it. But always just check in on the expiration date and the jar that you opened it, especially if it's one that is a serum with skincare products in it. So that can too, if you don't already know this, when you're using a foundation that has skincare products in it, but they call it more of a serum, you don't use skincare products that morning. That's too much. So if you're getting too greasy and that's kind of a product you're using, that's because you're using skincare on top of skincare and it's not going to work. So again, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, but let's keep going. So we've gone through your mascara, we've gone through your makeup, we've gone through all of your skincare products. Let's take one more step into your hair care products. Same thing. Those will expire. So it's so important to check the dates on them and to pay attention to how you are using these products. Don't stop and start, because if you stop and you start, here's what's going to happen. You're not going to see consistency. And I always tell people, on your phone, within those pictures, put notes. I started the retinoid product on August 1st, 2024. Okay, now you can track how long you've been using it, because a retinoid usually takes about 3 to 6 months to start seeing results. And so if you're tracking it, you can go, oh, this product isn't working. But now you know, oh no, wait, I started on August 1st, 2024, and now it's November, 21. Now I'm starting to see results. Oh, great, we have some questions. I put sticker dots with the date I started using it on my foundations. Yes, I love that, Miss B Styling. That is so perfect because we tend to forget when we bought it. Unless you've bought something on Sephora or you ordered it, like you could go into your history, but it's going to be so much simpler. So perfect thing, put a little dot on there, make a little note on it, or put it in your phone. How long can you keep a lipstick? Great question. So a lipstick, according to what the people who talk about expiration dates say, that you can keep lipsticks up to 1 year. I will tell you one thing. If you get cold sores or have had a cold, here's what you do. You take your lipstick and you chop it and take like a little clean knife and take about maybe like a half an inch of it off. Take a little alcohol and rub it and clean it. That way, if you did have any kind of lip sore or you were sick, it's kind of all desensitized and cleaned. So anytime you're sick like that, I'm very big, especially on your lip balms, on any type of lipsticks. You really can't do that with a lip gloss. So be very careful. If you've had a cold sore or anything, just throw it away if it's a lip gloss, because there's no way you're going to be able to figure out. With a lipstick, you can chop it off a little bit and wipe it up with a little alcohol, and that would be fine. But with a gloss, it goes back into the liquid, so I would get rid of it. So basically, the list says for a lipstick up to 1 year. So there's a lot of different things. Toothbrushes go when I get sick or have a cold. So yes, absolutely. Any type of things around your mouth, like the lip balms, the lip creams you use, if you use a particular lip mask, be very conscious if you've had any kind of colds or lip sores. And always make sure that any kind of jar you're using, that you have a little dip stick to go in there, and that you're cleaning that before you put that in. Because if you're putting your dirty hands in there, it's just going to contaminate all of that stuff. And please, please don't go to the makeup counters and put your hands in any of those testers where there's jars. And please don't test the product right to your skin. You can swatch on your hand, you can swatch the foundation, that's fine, but do not put a tester to your mouth. I could tell you some scary stories, but they're gross, they're dirty, you don't know who touched it. Make sure that you put all that on your hands, and if somebody is going to be like a makeup artist, you're watching them clean that product before they put that on your face. So important. When you have an eye infection, pencil eye sharpeners, sharpen it up. I usually clean them out with a little alcohol because you don't want to have anything near your eyes. If it's the mascara, just throw the mascara out. The sharpeners are fine because you can kind of chop that down, but any kind of a liquid eyeliner and you had any eye infection or pink eye, throw it right out, throw that mascara right out. Pay attention to your products and what you're using. And if you are paying attention and you're realizing I'm not using all of these products, stop wasting the money on them, because I'm telling you, you're probably wasting up to $1,500 a year in products that you haven't used. I've seen this, I've cleaned out the drawers, and people are choosing expensive products. So pay attention to what's not working for you. But I know some women have makeup for their daytime look, and then they have makeup because they're on camera or they're on videos. And so you need to have more fuller coverage foundation, more saturated makeup brands. Like if you know Merit, it's a very natural look. So that is a brand that doesn't really hold up very well for pictures and videos. That's a more everyday look. But you'll hear people say, like, I will use Lancome all day foundation. An all day foundation is meant to last all day. So that's going to be for when you have weddings, when you have parties, when you're going to something for 8 to 9 hours and you need stronger makeup. that's a different foundation. So pay attention to the foundations that you're wearing on an everyday basis, and then ones that you need for special events. Because the ones that you need for special events, if you're not doing them a lot, and maybe you're only using them once in a while, some brands will have more travel size, smaller versions of them. So you don't have to buy the bigger size and waste all the money because you're not using them a lot, but you just need those fuller foundations, long lasting, for select events. So as you know, I talk about this with your wardrobe, and I always tell you that if you plan out what events you have coming, the outfits you're wearing with them, and you plan out your makeup with them, you're going to save yourself a lot of time if you're buying all of that ahead of schedule. So September, do you have weddings going on? Do you have work events going on? Are you traveling? Make a list of all the things that you need so you're prepared and ready to go. And then keep a note of it. If you know that in October is when you're going to a specific event and you wear a particular cream, or it's going to start getting cold, you might take advantage of buying it now because it's on sale, because Ulta's having their 21 days of sales going on. You just don't open it until October, late October, early November, because then the jar will last longer. So pay attention if you're doing things like that. If you want to stock up, just don't open it. So to recap, we've gone over clean your brushes, clean your cosmetic bags, check the expiration dates, pay attention when you're sick to get rid of anything. Drawer organizers. Drawer organizers are great for your makeup, and you have either to put them on top of the counter or in the drawers. Clean them too, because again, they get messy, they get dirty. Brushes, either lay them down when possible, or if you do put them on top of your counter and you have a window there, make sure that they're covered. Actually, I just really prefer if they were covered because they can get very dusty. And so if there's other people using the bathroom, or if there's a bathroom that's open and there's constantly the wind blowing in, the wind and the dirt can easily get into the brushes. So make sure when you do clean them, they are put either in a drawer covered, or you put a cover over them so they're not exposed and getting dirty. People don't realize those little things, but sometimes, depending on how your space is set up, dust and dirt can get in them, especially if you maybe only use them a couple of times a week. The rest of the time they're just sitting there and they're just getting dirty. Also, don't forget about cleaning out your hair dryer. If you use a diffuser, like I use a diffuser for my curls, sometimes it starts to build up. It's weird, but I guess it's because when I push it in here, some of the product gets on there and that gets dirty. Sometimes our hands are just full of makeup or gel and the blow dryer gets dirty. So those little things are where you want to check in and try to clean. Let's see. I think I've covered everything. Do we have any more questions? I think so. Okay, so there we go. This is something that really could take you, it should take you, about less than an hour to do. And I say put on some music, have some fun. But if I could say one thing, and that's really constantly being in the routine of cleaning out your makeup and always being sure that you have gone through everything. And if anything's more than a year, I really wouldn't use it more than a year unless you're just in love with that product and you can still get out of it. Some, blushes and powders and eyeshadows, those can go longer. They're probably the ones that can go longer. But as I said, everything else, pay attention to the date on there, pay attention to how you used it. If you've gotten sick, keep your notes in your phone, and then you're good to go. So I hope you have enjoyed everything I've shared here. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And please like this video, I appreciate that. And if you want to see more specific videos, just leave the comments in the below, because I will show you in the next video, I will answer your questions. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye for now.